it with music, beautiful music. Hello, I'm Fred Miller, and this is yet another lecture in song. A little musical background. I was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I had the great fortune of having a wonderful classical piano teacher who grounded me in the classics. That started at age 7, and then at age 13, I turned 13 the very day the Beatles arrived in America. So my musical focus was sort of divided between the top 40 and classical music. And that went on until the summer after I graduated from high school, at which time I hitchhiked with a friend from New Mexico to the Woodstock Festival. I'm even in the poster there. But that was it for rock music for me. I went to college very briefly, got a VW bug, traveled all over America, settled in Greenwich Village, and then somebody gave me an album of Ella Fitzgerald singing Cole Porter, and here I am. The great world of American popular song. Gershwin, Porter, Kern, Rogers, Berlin, Fred Astaire, Judy Garland, Ethel Merman, Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, the whole wonderful world it was. I was determined that at that time I was going to make American popular song my musical life, and so it has been. I came on the concept of a lecture in song. The idea would be each one would be a profile of a great personality or some aspect of American popular song. I started with 6 programs, and now to date I have 75 different programs, each one described in detail at fredmillermusic.com. The program today I call Red, White, and Blue, the indelible patriotic imprint of 3 great American entertainers. We're going to start with, well, I think you'll know who I'm talking about. A real live nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. Well, he was the Yankee Doodle boy, the flag waver of all flag wavers, George M. Cohan, the man who owned Broadway. He wasn't exactly born on 4th of July, actually it was the 3rd of July, but anyway, who's counting? He was born to Irish-American parents, Jerry and Ellen Cohan, in Providence. He had a sister who was 2 years older than he, that was Josie. This is the stuff out of which show business legend is made. Every romantic cliche of the old-time show business, it was a family business, and they took the kids along. Young Georgie played the fiddle in the orchestra pit while his parents would be up there performing, but he was itching to get there on the stage. So it wasn't long by the time he was age 11, he was up there, and they were playing the prestigious Keith circuit, 4 to 6 shows a day. And even at that young age, George was the backbone of the act, even more so than his father. At one time, he played Peck's bad boy and apparently yelled from the stage, "I can lick any guy in the town here." And, of course, all the toughs from the town would be backstage ready to beat him up. And I think he got in a few licks himself. So he grew up tough. One thing is the act had never played New York City. That was the big time. And the father was a little cautious about that. They were doing just fine on the Keith circuit. But George laid down the law. He said, if we don't play New York, I'm quitting the act. So and they played New York, and they really sort of started from the ground up again. They had to break up the act, and they would be separate acts, and they'd be even the opening act in vaudeville, which is the worst. That's when people are coming in, and they're shuffling their programs and eating their popcorn. But by the time he was in his mid-teens, maybe 16, 17 years old, they were now the 4 Cohans, and they were making, by the turn of the century, $1,000 a week. So this was an irresistible family act, and at some point or the other, George went right there to the footlights and said, at the end of the program, "My mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you." Well, in 1999, when he was 21 years old, he married a very talented comedian, actress named Ethel Levy. They had one daughter named, of course, Georgette. She was born in 1900. And in 1901, George wrote what I think was the first of what would be these sort of showcases for himself. He would always play the title role. This one was called The Governor's Son. And here now was the beginning of the creation of this whole George M. Cohan persona, this confident, exuberant, dancing, singing phenomenon, supremely self-confident, jumping up and down on the stage and running across and up the proscenium. The real career-making moment, 1904. When he starred in Little Johnny Jones. This is the career-defining song as well. I'm the kid that's all the candy, I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, I'm glad I am. So's Uncle Sam, I'm a real live Yankee Doodle, made my name and fame and boodle, just like Mr. Doodle did, riding on a pony. I love to listen to the Dixie strain, I long to see the girl left behind me, that ain't a Josh, she's a Yankee, by gosh. Oh, say, can you see anything about a Yankee that's a phony? I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, Yankee Doodle do or die, a real live nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart.